Hello and welcome to the newspaper review here on Tab TV. My name is Obed Jerry and I am your host for today, and welcome to the new week. Yes, this is where we get to discuss with people on the street. That you could see behind me, we are the streets of Port Harcourt, as we've been doing, to discuss with people as regards headlines making rounds on the papers. You out there can also be a part of this show. Please subscribe to our channel if you are yet to subscribe. Turn on your notification button. Connect with us across all our social media platforms, so that when we drop videos like this, you get to receive our notifications. Well, before we discuss with people on the street, let's first look into the newspapers and see what the stories look like. Today being Monday, April 8th, 2024, we could see at the Nation's newspaper, we could see as headline says, "Kidnap Kingpin Wadum freed from prisons." Details of this story is found on page 4. Battle for party leadership. Ayu keeps PDP in suspense. Details is found on page 2. One army officer killed, 4 soldiers injured in ambush. Details of the story is found on page 6. Kidnap suspects of Abia Varsity DVC held, says OT. Details is found on page 28. I won't dump PDP, says Ikpazu. Details is found on page 28. And we see at the main story here, it reads, "No plan to leave Labour Party," says Obi. Sub-story under that reads, "Party rejects NLC backed through stocks." Details is found on page 4. Southeast leaders' peace building effort good for polity, says Tinubu. Details is found on page 2. APC, NNPP, YPP doubts members' exodus to PDP in Akwa Ibom. Details is found also on page 28, and that's all be taken on the Nation's newspaper. And moving on, we'll be looking at the Punch newspaper. We could see as headline says, "OPS takes power tariff hikes protest to Tinubu." Details is found on page 35. 2.3 billion naira, $2.3 billion Siemens power project transformers. Substations arrive Nigeria. Details is found on page 35. Dollar video. Release report of Ganduje's probe. Kanu tells EFCC. Details is found on page 8. And at the main story here, we could see it says, federal government plans 3 national ID card for 104 million Nigerians, June. Sub-story under that reads, NIMC and waits presidential approval for May launch. Says procurement will be seamless. Details is found on page 2. Salah, federal government declares Tuesday, Wednesday holiday as Tinubu arrives Lagos. Details is found on page 9. Imo Hetelia in custody for allegedly torturing man to death. Details of the sad story is found on page 5. Delta Copper dies in crash. NYSC warns against unauthorized travels. Details is found on page 5. May his soul rest well. And lastly, you could see it says, World Health Day. Highly skilled manpower lost to Japa. Doctors lament. Details is found on page 19. And that's all we'll be taking on the Punch newspaper. And lastly, we'll be looking at the Vanguard newspaper. You could see it says, electricity metering will enhance investment, growth in power sector, says the Hair boss. Details is found on page 21. Edo Guba, communities commend Obaseki, tax him on more roads to ease campaign. Details of the story is found on page 28. How we are solving Nigeria's problem by Adelabu. Details is found on page 14. On the main story on the Vanguard, we could see it says, Petrol, oil marketers propose 550 Naira per litre price to Dangote. Sub-story under that reads, talks ongoing over price, margins, orders, says marketers. Details of this interesting story is found on page 19 of the Vanguard newspaper. And moving on, we could see it says, mistakes Nigeria made, says General Ike Nwachukwu. The details of the story is found on page 26. Okwama killings. Residents can't sleep with eyes closed. Urobo communities complain to monarch. Details is found on page 2. NPAN, NGE, NUJ, BON, CSOs, others seek probe of journalists' detention. Details is found on page 2, and that's all we're taking on the Vanguard newspaper, and that's all we're taking on the papers for today. Now let's get to discuss with people on this. Let's get to hear what they have to say as regards these headlines on the paper. Stay tuned. All right, good day, sir.
Good day.
Welcome, sir. Happy New Week to you.
Happy New Week, my brother.
All right, sir. I would like your thoughts on the Vanguard newspaper that says Petrol, oil marketers propose 550 Naira per litre price to Dangote. Is it possible for we to buy petrol as at 550?
It's still high.
It's still high, right?
550 is
But
still
we know that some of these crude, they imported it. That we used to run.
We have crude in Nigeria.
Okay.
Why not drill the crude and repair our refineries. We were told of recent that Petrol refinery will get working. Yes. Where is it working? See what we are seeing in Nigeria, not only in fuel, what of cash, go to the bank. I'm not coming from the bank.
Most ATMs are not even paying, and POS people are charging.
The ATM you are seeing, they are owned by bank members, workers in the bank,
and they make profit from it.
Yes. If you go to the ATM, they'll tell you 200 naira for 10,000 naira.
That used to be like 15 naira.
No, if you take it in the bank, it's not 15 naira.
Yes.
It's 15 naira in the bank.
Yes.
So they divert. If you carry cash to the bank, the workers there, they will hijack you and transfer their money to your account and take the cash from you.
And use it to do their
own business. That's the country we are living in now.
But seeing how things are in the country, do you think Nigeria will get any better at the moment?
If I want to speak my mind, maybe because I prefer military rule to civilian. I have been in military.
Because there are more coordination.
Yes, military rule. Even state creation, local government creation, military can do within a month.
And military would even help regulate price of goods.
Yes. They cannot regulate another person's business because it is their own. They will not do anything. But military, from the barrack there, they will just send instruction. They can do price control. But civilians cannot do it.
So now, are we to say that it is the government that is our problem, or we Nigerians?
Government who owns us. Government owns us. It is government who is supposed to say this is what we want to happen, and it will happen. We are all we are loyal to our government. So what government speaks, just like a father. I'm a father, I'm a grandfather. Yes. So if I speak to my children, they will, yes, I call them to order, they will stop. But yeah, we look like children who don't have no coordination at all.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
Welcome and a happy new week to you.
Happy the same to you.
Yes, I would like your thoughts on the Nation's weather says no plans to leave Labour Party. Says
what do you say
about that?
The commentary is good. Once as he fell for the last time, maybe the coming election he will win, and that ambition.
So do you think there's a chance of him winning?
Yes, there's a chance now for him to win because maybe Nigeria have observed maybe different thing before for this Tinubu's administration.
Now, do you think the support, why Peter Obi would not want to leave Labour Party because of the support that he's getting from the obedience movement? Remember that the obedience are mostly youths that supported Labour Party because of Peter Obi.
Yeah, it's true now. Let him continue because many Nigerians need to vote. We voted that and Labour Party. So at the end, we see failure. But for now, let him continue. Let him go on with the party. Maybe next session, many youth that voted him last time will still come and vote him. So they make change in Nigeria.
Now we could see that. Let's go back to what happened during the election. We could see that Labour Party didn't win the presidential election. Right now, what do you think are the mistakes that they made that need to be corrected in the coming election? Because there's definitely there are errors that were made, right?
I think they measured card reader and all the rest of things, and what again? The presidential and chairman. So they know where they made their mistake. So that place they made the mistake. Next time they make sure that they correct on that mistake.
Now let's look at it. Let's look at it in a general aspect now. Assuming Peter Obi won the presidential election, do you think Nigerian economy would have been improved by now?
Yeah, because the way we have Nigeria in mind,
he would do things different.
When Obi was going already, you go to the state, each state, Obi will go to each state and find their problem. You're looking for the problem of each state, and we find it that maybe when this man won, that Nigeria will be better than as it is now. But fortunately to him, we saw him fair. But let us still give him more chance
To try again.
To try again later. Because during the first time, Buhari contested for 4 or 5 or more than before he come and win for Atiku. So let them continue trying. God will bring out who will win Nigeria and make Nigeria better.
All right, thank you very much. All right, good day.
Good day, bro.
Welcome, sir. Happy New Week to you.
Oh, thank you, far too kind.
Welcome. I would like your thoughts on the Punch newspaper that says OPS takes power tariff hike protest to Tinubu. This is a follow-up of when we heard that they hiked electricity tariff from over 240%. So if you are paying 1,000 naira before, for example, you'll be expected to pay over 2,000 naira, 2,004, 2,005. What do you have to say as regards that? And many persons are complaining. I am even complaining. So what do you have to say about that?
Man, it's not time to complain, especially for the poor Nigerians right now, because this is not about the poor Nigerians. It was targeted for the rich Nigerians. And mind in many climes, in many society, when you are rich, you pay more taxes. The electricity subsidy. You know, we are still facing the hardship from the fuel subsidy, but now it's about electricity subsidy. And mind you, one might say, oh, come on, what is this man talking about? Right now, I think it's a good idea. It is a good idea, in as much as I don't want them to go too fast with this idea. Because we are talking about a situation whereby, mind you, we have the band A's to the band G's or thereabout, and the band A's are the ones that get up to 20 hours out of 24 hours per day in electricity. We're talking about highbrow areas. We're not talking about Bundu Waterside. We're not talking about the DO. Okay, we're talking about people that can pay this money, and the government is looking out for ways to get back money from these people, because without the right investment, without people making profit in electricity, investment cannot come.
Exactly.
I will not want to invest in a place where I cannot get my money back or even make profit at all. The government has been subsidizing this electricity. In as much as we know that we have our issues. We have our issues with generating this electricity. But mind you, we cannot also underestimate the power of allowing business to flow by itself. Look at what is happening with Geregu power plant that is being, will I say, owned, or the major shareholder who happens to be Otedola. Okay, we have seen how this business has been managed. If he's not making profit, he will not be able to give out 20 billion naira for dividends. Okay, businesses must strive, and how do businesses strive? Profits must be made. So now the government has this time around, in a quiet way, in an easy way, to remove subsidy, electricity subsidy. We are talking about people that uses this power for 20 hours, so they should be able to pay. Even with this increment, people that burn diesel are still spending more. Even with this increment, okay? What am I saying? In other clients, I know Nigerians will not want me to talk about, will not want us to be shoulder to shoulder to other people in the world, but mind you, countries like Ireland, they spend 53 cents per kilowatt. Why right here in my own band, although light has been so crazy this time around, before the past 1 month, on a normal, we get up to 12 hours a day. Okay, and our electricity tariff might be around 80 naira when you add the taxes, might be around 80 naira per 1 kilowatt. We are talking about less than 100 naira. We are talking about, if you use the current exchange rate of 1,400 or 1,300, we are talking about 0.13.
All right, this is where we draw our curtains for today. You heard everything that has been discussed here. You've heard what people on the streets have to say as regards these headlines. Please, if you have anything to add to it, please slide to our comment section and drop your comment. Of course, we'd like to hear from you. Subscribe to our channel if you are yet to subscribe. Turn on your notification button and connect with us across all our social media platforms, so that when we drop videos like this, you receive our notifications. My name is Obed Jerry, your host for today, and this has been the newspaper review here on TAP TV. See you next time.